What is good, everybody? I'm going to give you my really quick thoughts on Marvel's Spider-Man on Disney XZ. Before I go to work, I'm just waiting till my clothes get ready. Pretty much. I remember when when the first initial trailer came out. This was after the series finale of Ultimate Spider-Man, with like the whole Shield Academy graduation type thing. And first thing like the ran lights in my mind is, oh, okay, so this is some type of cash grab of the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe because there's no need just to cancel the Ultimate Spider-Man series just for this new show because even though I didn't like this series all that much, it kind of like just warmed up like to me in certain like departments and like it was doing really well in terms of episodes and seasons and ratings and shit like that, and it's currently like the most it's currently like the longest Spider-Man show, spawning 4 seasons of it. So said I was really skeptical, and the only Spider-Man thing that I was looking forward to last year was, well, obviously Spider-Man Homecoming. And I was totally not too sure about this show until it premiered. What they were doing is that they were releasing little shorts of the show tying into basically like these shorts were basically the origin story of Peter Parker. It's like showing you how he got bit by the spider. Uncle Ben, with great power comes great responsibility. Until like they show like the first 5 episodes. Do I like the show? No. Honestly, no. I really don't like the show. And let me just make one thing perfectly clear. When it comes down to Spider-Man, I hold Spider-Man a lot more serious than Teen Titans. I mean, even though like the Teen Titans Go really pisses me off to like an uncertain type of level, Spider-Man is a lot more serious to me because I really grew up with Spider-Man. Like, really grew up with Spider-Man. I was practically born into Spider-Man because my mom and my sister got me into Spider-Man. You could kind of make the argument that they were kind of like just playing this like since I was a baby. But yeah, I hold Spider-Man very dearly to my heart. And I feel as though that this show does not do a very good job at being entertaining. Mostly because Peter Parker in the show, throughout different types of Peter Parkers in the past, you can have some type of relationship, or you can see yourself being Peter Parker. Like, that's how he is, and like he's supposed to be the everyman. He's supposed to be this teenager in high school that like you think, oh yeah, it's like, something says I remember like just having trouble like with the women or something like that. It's like, something that Spider-Man is the everyman, and in this show he's just a lot more nerdy. It's like just a lot more nerdy. This show likes to focus on the science aspect of Peter Parker, which is very ironic. Like, now that I think about it, it's like the Ultimate Spider-Man was more action-oriented. Ultimate Spider-Man was more comedy-based. This is just more scientific. Cool. And the thing that really makes me mad about this show is that Peter Parker is just not unique in the show. He's not. It's like, something it says. And that was sort of the thing that made him stand out in other shows, that this was a 15-year-old kid who got powers and he can build his own type of stuff. It's like it says he built web shooters and spider tracers, like, which is really cool. Just in this show, he goes to a really advanced science school along with other kids who are just as smart as him, who can build Tony Stark level type shit. Not only that, they have Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy there, but like we're gonna get into them in a sec. And it's just when you put Peter Parker into this type of environment along with everyone else who are just as capable as him, what makes him stand out from the other people? That's what I'm saying. It's like it's like we're focused on these other people who who can do, like I said before, who can make Tony Stark level type shit, and it just doesn't add up. Another thing that really bothers me is that Harry also is really smart. I mean, really, it's like he's like up to par with Peter, and it's just you can't do that. You can't do that to his character, because I mean, if you guys if you guys know Harry Osborn's story, it says he is Peter's best friend, but is jealous of Peter because Norman sees Harry as a disappointment and not up to his type of level, but he sees Peter as the son he always wanted, because like I said, Peter is very intelligent and he's just more capable than Harry Osborn. Just in this, when you take away that element, what the fuck do you have? It's like, it says you have really nothing. As we get into Miles Morales, I think I read somewhere in his comic book that he goes to advanced school himself. I don't think that he's very smart, but he is smart enough to where get into that type of school. Well, in his comic, I bet. But now it says he gets bitten by a radioactive spider too, and he becomes, the Black Spider-Man, really. And it's alright, I guess. And then Gwen Stacy becomes Spider-Gwen, and it just feels as though, I don't know, it's just kind of weird. It's just, I did not have this problem when watching Ultimate Spider-Man, when they had their own spider team, but that's mostly because they have different types of characters. It's just when you look at the show, it's these characters kind of feel very samey, really. So it's just, there's nothing really making them that just sticks out, really. And I gotta be blunt, some of the voices really annoy me. Peter Parker, this Peter Parker is way more nerdy, way more nerdy. It's just, it says, I love science just as much as the next guy, but god damn, they really want to focus on the science aspect, and it really shows, because this kid just talks a lot about science, even some of his lingo just turns into science. And even Uncle Ben's "with great power comes great responsibility" speech has some type of scientific method going into it. It's they really want to go into the whole science aspect of it. I don't really care for the voices of Peter Parker. Norman Osborn was okay. Dr. Octopus, Dr. Otto Octavius, damn. He's the same voice who did Robin off of Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go. And wow, it's just, oh yeah, it says, I'm the bad guy. What the fuck is that voice, man? That does not sound appealing. It does not. And just, I know what some people are gonna say, it's for kids, let go. But Spider-Man is just not for kids. Okay, he's marketing for, that's something that you just gotta understand, is that sometimes when you market things, you want to get everyone involved in. So it says, who do you know who's going to eat this shit up without really knowing better? Kids, obviously. It's some says comic books was made more towards teenagers, really, but they wanted to get more younger kids involved on it, because hey, comic books were just a fucking quarter or a nickel. I'm back in those days, pretty much you just get off of school and just get a bunch of comic books. Obviously, shit, that's something. And Spider-Man was just not for kids. Spider-Man is for everyone. Everyone loves the dude. So it's just, don't just tell me that, oh yeah, it says it's something for kids. And hey, and hey, that speech does not work all the time, because shouldn't kids deserve a lot better? We had, we had a much better Spider-Man show, The Spectacular Spider-Man, but it got canceled just with the whole Disney and Sony type shit. And some is just, and a quick little side note, it really makes me angry that I cannot recommend The Spectacular Spider-Man, even though it's a really great show, and in some regards, I really do recommend it. I can't recommend it because you just might like the show so much that you want to continue, and you want more, and you're gonna be very disappointed and very pissed off to find out that they are never, ever going to continue The Spectacular Spider-Man. And that will really piss me off, because they were planning a season 3 and 4 of The Spectacular Spider-Man, and that is very heartbreaking, very heartbreaking. So I have no clue whether or not, because I stopped watching the show after its 6th, 7th episode. So it's just, I have no clue if I'll ever continue watching the show. And I've been very quiet about this because, I don't know, it's there's something something about me talking about this really just makes me angry. And oh yeah, just another thing that I kind of failed to mention is that all the other Marvel characters just seem kind of, well, afterthoughts, really. I mean, they throw Black Widow into the mix, they throw Iron Man just in there. And Venom, the symbiote, they feel more like afterthoughts. And the Shocker, and what the fuck was it? The Jackal, they feel more like afterthoughts. Characters that appear in the comics, they feel more afterthoughts than anything. I mean, there is this episode where everyone gets spider powers. Everyone, everyone can just climb on walls, shoot webs. I don't remember if they were organic webbing or not, but it's just when I said that there was nothing unique to Spider-Man, it's just having everyone have spider powers, including including Black Widow herself, which kind of comes full circle, just now that I think about it, because a Black Widow is a type of spider, so that really drives the whole Spider-Man is not unique home, because this really makes me think, it's just, if pretty much, if anybody can just do this shit, then fuck you need Spider-Man for. And that really pisses me off, and that's why I stopped watching the show. So it's just, I kind of just choose to stop watching the show, mostly because I don't want to because I don't want to call it the worst thing besides Teen Titans Go. So it's just, I'm just trying to stop myself before I get any more ahead. So yeah, so we're just gonna just end that here. I'll see you guys next time. Like the video, share, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time as always.